Everybody, it's your boy Savi B here on this lovely Monday. It's hot, but it's a beautiful day because the markets are open, money is flowing. As I've said this before, I used to live for the weekends because I love to party and, go out and do my thing. But as I got more into economics and finance, um, money doesn't move on the weekends. All your transactions that you go to the club or you go shopping, they really don't get processed until Monday. So now I live for the weekdays and the weekends. I'm like, is it Monday yet? Is it Monday yet? I love it. The stock market is open on Mondays, Monday to Friday, depending if it's a holiday. But it's just a beautiful thing. Monday's a beautiful thing. I love Mondays. So I got this article today from Business Insider. The 7 best ways to build wealth starting today, according to financial planners. So let's look at them. Number one, figure out your net worth. The easiest way to figure out your net worth is to add your assets and your liabilities together or subtract your liabilities from your assets, um, all your debts versus liquid cash. I like to do just liquid cash. I don't like to count my car or any other assets that I would have, um, just because in order for me to get that cash, I would have to sell those assets. Uh, but you can. Doing that is a little bit harder though to have a positive net worth, just because debt can easily outweigh your liquid cash. Um, I just don't like to add in tangible assets. Like my car, I'm not gonna sell it because I need to go to and from work. I mean, you can add it as an asset or a liability, either way you look at it. So I just take things like that out of the equation. Um, Bare bones. I just want at least a week of liquidity in calculating my net worth. So it's important to know where you stand, if you're positive, if you're negative, if you're barely positive. It's definitely something that everyone should do. It's like a wellness check on your finances and where you stand. Two, start saving automatically. I mean, if you set up automatic deposits into a savings account or automatic transfers rather, um, you can't spend that money because you don't see it. I like to use my checking account solely for spending purposes and just let everything else accumulate. Um, that's also where I take my investments from, is my checking account, and I have a couple other savings accounts. Number three, take advantage of your employer's 401k program. I have still not set up my 401k. I'm really slacking. I should get on it. Um, it is free money at the end of the day. I'm getting a 4% match at my job. It's 4% that I'm leaving on the table right now. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe that's for another video about the 401k. But if it's free money, it's free money, and I'm leaving it on the table right now. So maybe I should just enroll. Four, look at cash flow. I feel like looking at your cash flow is kind of like looking at your diet, right? I once was a bodybuilder uh, years ago. And usually, when you talk to people and when you start to plan a new diet, you want to look at what you're eating first and adjust accordingly. Same thing with cash flow. A budget is just a glorified diet. That's all it is. Um, so if you can look at where your cash is going, you can see where you actually don't need to spend money, and you can save and plan accordingly. Uh, it's important to know where your money goes. Number five, don't let money sit. Keep it growing. Because if you let money sit, we have a buzzword called inflation, which slowly erodes the buying power of your money. Now, it's targeted at 3% a year, but it can go anywhere from 2 to 4%. Um, you definitely don't want to be losing purchasing power of your money. So why not just, if you're not using it, just make it grow. It's like planting a tree, that'll always give you money. Plant a money tree. 6, make savings a priority. I think getting out of debt, if you're in debt, should be your priority. As I talked in my last video, if you pay interest, say 18% interest, that's an 18% return on investment every time you pay, because that is interest you will not have to pay. So it makes sense to lower your debt on non-performing debt, right? I mean, if you have rental properties and other things, that's performing debt, and it will eventually pay itself off. But if you have unsecured loans, and if you have credit cards that you just blew and you bought stupid things with, it's best to just pay that down so that way you don't pay that interest anymore. Uh, and then you should make your priority savings. And 7, be patient. This is one thing I lack. Patience is not my strong suit. I'm just be totally honest. I'm a very impatient person. If you scheduled to meet with me, or if we're gonna go hang out, you're like 10, 20 minutes late, it just sets a bad tone for me. Um, I just have no patience. It's something that I'm working on, and hopefully it gets better, which is kind of ironic because I chose a very slow investing model, dividend investing, which forecasting out 20 years, 30 years sometimes. And it, it, it cracks me up because the person with no patience chose a patient strategy. Call it what it is, call it fate. Maybe I'm destined to learn patience through investing, but it is nice to see money grow. It is nice to see quarterly dividends come in, monthly dividends. So it's worth the wait to me. But that's all I have today. Those are the 7 things. So go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, chat it up. I'll see you on the next one.